Hello, my dear students. Today's lecture will be public services and utilization for tourism industry. What is it? In today's lecture, I would like to share with you the importance of public services in tourism infrastructure, how it's influenced to the development of tourist destination, tourism infrastructure, and what types of public services and the different utilization nowadays we have. In general, I would like to share with you different types of kinds of infrastructure which is related public services, which is provided by public and government and state services, which is also important. And finally, I would like to share a new tendency and challenges and cases which is related to today's topic. And today's lecture's purpose is to understand, to identify the vital types of public services which is related with tourism infrastructure, which is provided by the government or by the state organizations, which is very important in tourism industry. For the development of tourism infrastructure, which we should organize several aspects of, like tourism factors. One of them is public services. And after this lecture, you can understand or you can identify the public services which is related with tourism industry, and also to understand the importance of tourism services which is related public transport or public different applications, which is very convenient. Firstly, let me introduce what is it public services or utilization in tourism industry. Public services are government provided services utilization for the development of tourism industry. It refers to basic physical services or systems which is operated by the tourism, and also was foundation of components like public service and different public utilization. It's very important for the development of tourism infrastructure. That's why it's one of the primary services, because physical needs of human being, it's everywhere, and it can be it should be organized properly. And public services, they guarantee the destination, firstly safe, and also in security and accessibility and different functions. Why is important public services for the development of tourism development or tourism destination? Firstly, it's provide basic standards of living tourists and locals. Firstly, secondly, impacts of tourist experience, safety and health. It's one of the main things, I think, because without them it's not possible to organize properly tourism services. Thirdly, attract more visitors around the world if tourist destinations organize public services as a toilet, for example, or secure environmental things or environment. Finally, contributes sustainable destination management, and also one of the primary services of public services. What types of public services nowadays has tourism industry or tourism infrastructure? Firstly, water supply sanitation. It means that without clear or fresh water consumption, it's not possible to organize tourism. Secondly, electricity or energy supply. Without electricity, you cannot image tourism service. That's why energy efficiency, it's one of the key aspects of public services. Third, it's waste management. You know that waste management and recycling is very significant. It's vital thing. You know that tourism industry after organizing tourism industry, they provided very high level of waste management. That's why it's waste. That's why we should organize properly waste management and recycling. Thirdly, communication and telecommunication and internet accessibility. And you know that it's not possible. It's not possible organize properly without internet, without communication, telecommunication. That's why it's one of the public services. Safety and security services. Safety and security services and another additional public services, and transport and public mobility services, and finally public amenities or restrooms, different signs and parks, which is also includes public services in tourism infrastructure. A role of local authorities or state organizations for the organizing public services in tourism destination. It means that local government are typically responsible for planning, funding, and maintaining or ensuring public services. Why? Because main services of tourism, it's organized by tour operators, tour agencies, but public services, it's provided by government. It's one of the key things. That's why government are responsible or charge of organizing very properly public services. Secondly, policy making ensures fair distribution. It means that organizing very convenient, very clean, fresh public services, which is related to tourism industry. Finally, government oversight ensures quality of standards of public services. It's that it can be like international way or local way or national way. It can depends on tourist destination by the government. In public services of tourism infrastructure, one of the way to create very convenient, very efficient public services, it's public partnership, private-public partnership, or we can say PPP. It's collaboration between public and private sectors to create very convenient public services, which is related not just tourism industry but the other types of services. And also one of the efficient way of creating very convenient and efficient public services. Sustainability in public services and utilization of tourism industry, it's very one of the way nowadays tendency. That's why it can be depends on types of tourism destination and tourism services. It can be energy efficiency, solar panels, or waste management strategies, or it can be water supplies, which is organized by the in sustainable way, which is also nowadays new tendency. Of course, without challenge, it's not possible organize public services. One of the challenges or the disadvantages of public services, it's over tourism or mass tourism, because a lot of tourists want to go some destinations, for example Italy, but they cannot provide very very efficient or very convenient public services. It's over tourism or mass tourism. Secondly, financial maintain infrastructure, which is not efficient or not enough for the destination. And thirdly, a balancing between tourist needs and local needs. It means that local people want to live without tourists, but tourists can provide economic development. It means that job creation, income, international exchange. Finally, ensuring inclusivity or accessibility, which is also one of the challenges of public services. Of course, without solution, nowadays we have solution for them. It's integrating not mass tourism, ecotourism or sustainable tourism, promoting around the world sustainable tourism, and also certainly it's involvement of locals for the organizing public services, and also adapting or integrating different smart applications or digitalization in the organizing public services. In conclusion, in this lecture, I explained to you properly the importance of public services in tourism infrastructure, how it's influenced to the level of tourists, and how can we organize it in general, and also for the organizing public services, it's very like responsible like players, it's government, so all local authorities. That's why it's one of the key today's lecture. Today's lecture reference I would like to share with you in this presentation, and for additional reading, please read about today's lecture more properly. Today's topic, it's very interesting. I think today's lecture was helpful and understandable to you, and thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye bye.